James Dobson, evangelical leader who shaped generations, dies at 89. Founder of Focus on the Family, Dobson built a global ministry and became a powerful force in American politics, counseling presidents and mobilizing millions of evangelical Christians. James C. Dobson, the psychologist turned broadcaster who founded Focus on the Family and became one of the most influential voices of American evangelicalism, died on August 21, 2025, at his home in Colorado Springs. He was 89. His death was confirmed by the Dr. James Dobson Family Institute. For nearly 5 decades, Dobson's voice was a familiar presence in evangelical households. His radio program, launched in 1977, expanded into a global network of broadcasts, magazines, books, and advocacy campaigns. At its height, Focus on the Family reached tens of millions of listeners across more than 160 countries and operated with budgets rivaling major nonprofits. To many families, Dobson was not just a broadcaster but a trusted guide on marriage, parenting, and the challenges of modern life. Born in Shreveport, Louisiana, in 1936, Dobson grew up in a deeply religious family. After earning a Ph.D. in psychology, he taught at the University of Southern California School of Medicine before turning his attention to public ministry. His breakout 1970 book, Dare to Discipline, made him a household name, advocating a mix of firm boundaries and Christian principles in raising children. He would go on to write more than 70 books, including Bringing Up Boys and When God Doesn't Make Sense, works that became staples on evangelical bookshelves. But Dobson was more than an author and counselor. He was a strategist who understood the power of institutions and media to shape culture. Under his leadership, Focus on the Family became not only a counseling ministry but also a political force, influencing debates on abortion, same-sex marriage, education, and religious liberty. In 1981, he helped found the Family Research Council, a Washington-based advocacy group that became central to the religious right's presence in national politics. Presidents took notice. Ronald Reagan praised him, George W. Bush sought his counsel, and Donald Trump named him to his Evangelical Advisory Board in 2016. For decades, Dobson was regarded as a kingmaker within the Republican Party, able to rally evangelical voters with a single statement. His influence, however, was not without controversy. Dobson's defense of corporal punishment and his opposition to LGBTQ+ rights drew sharp criticism from medical experts and human rights organizations. Detractors argued that his teachings promoted intolerance and inflicted harm, particularly on LGBTQ+ youth. Yet for his supporters, Dobson embodied moral clarity in a rapidly changing culture. Dr. Dobson had an uncanny ability to speak directly to the struggles of ordinary families, said Tony Perkins, president of the Family Research Council. His legacy is etched into the modern evangelical movement. Dobson stepped down from Focus on the Family in 2010, but quickly launched the Dr. James Dobson Family Institute to continue his outreach. Even in later years, his writings, speeches, and broadcasts ensured his message remained part of the national conversation. To his admirers, he was a steady voice calling parents to faithfulness and discipline. To his critics, he was a symbol of the rigid conservatism that defined much of late 20th century evangelical politics. Taken together, his life reflects both the rise of the religious right and the enduring debate over what family values mean in America. James Dobson is survived by his wife, Shirley, their children and grandchildren. For those who knew his voice on the radio or on the printed page, his passing marks not only the end of a life, but the closing of a chapter in the story of American evangelicalism.